Welcome to my channel. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you listened to your own thoughts? I'm not referring to the noise in your head, not your to-do list, not what others said. By real thinking, silent, profound, serene. If your mind is full at so many levels, like a small, crowded space with no windows, this video is for you. Because today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to talk about something big. It's something that a lot of people never talk about. How to clear things out of your brain. Not just for peace, but for thinking, for learning, for being you. Stay with me. Because what you're about to discover can change the way you live, the way you learn English, and the way you feel each and every day. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Cluttered Mind. We don't think clearly. Here's why. Have you ever stepped into your basement or attic and been overwhelmed by your inability to find what you are looking for? You ever open up your phone just to check one message, and a half hour later, you're watching a video that you never intended to watch and scrolling through posts that you never needed to see, and you feel more exhausted than you did before? We all run into that, pretty much, every day. And we don't know how much it clutters our mind with noise. Our brains are never turned off in today's world. There are notifications, emails, messages, ads, videos, news, and sounds everywhere. Our mind keeps racing, even when we try to rest, like a machine that doesn't take any time off, and it actually becomes normal over time. We forget what it is like to have a mind that is clear, that has few thoughts racing through it. Think of your mind as if it were a little room. This room should be the home of your best ideas. But as of now, this room is packed. That box there, those clothes on the floor, stuff crammed into that corner. You can't walk inside. You can't even see the floor. That is what mental clutter does. A crowded room where your thoughts cannot breathe. Even the finest thoughts, the smartest ones, get lost in the disarray. This is why we can't seem to think our way out of this. Not because we are lazy, not because we're not smart, because there's just too much inside. A lot of people are tired even after they sleep. Only not from physical fatigue, but from mental fatigue. That's mental overload. Too many things to do in too little time. Work, family, social media, anxieties about the future, regrets over the past. There's no room for the mind to breathe. Now, with the hoopla out of the way, we can talk about something really important: learning a language. If you're studying English, you might feel stuck sometimes. You blank on what to say. You lose confidence, you get the jitters when speaking. This is the fate of many, many learners. But hang on a second. Is your English no good? Or does your mind buzz and sting, too hectic to focus? Think about it. It's difficult to remember new words when your head is full of stress, worry, and just too much. It's hard to speak freely. It's hard to enjoy learning. English becomes something heavy rather than something playful. That's why emptying your mind is not just good for your life. It's also a potent tool for your own learning. And when your mind is uncluttered, you've more ability to listen, speak, and understand. You don't feel blocked. You feel calm. And when you're relaxed, learning comes naturally. It could be that you've had experiences like this one. You get settled to study, and 10 minutes later your brain flags, "I'm tired." Or you attempt to articulate yourself, but your mind just goes blank. That's not your fault. Yes, that's your brain is telling you. It needs space. I want to leave it with you, with this thought. Even a computer needs to flush its memory. Hell, even your phone runs better when you shut some things down. And your mind? It's the same. Now think for a moment. What feels different when there's more space in your mind? If you could think clearly? If you weren't just overwhelmed? That's the question that we will now explore in the chapters that follow. Because yes, it's possible. You're running away from the world for no reason. It's not like you need to go monk or anything. You just have to figure out how to get through the clutter, little by little. This is just the beginning, but right now, simply by listening to and understanding this problem, you're already beginning to make room. So take a breath. You're doing far better than you realize. Part 1. Space, the Next Frontier. Chapter 2. Space Science. What it means when you think. Let's go a little deeper now. You might pose the question, what does it mean to think anyway? And it's a simple question, isn't it? But few people ever stop to ask it. Thinking isn't just talking to yourself in your head. It's more than just remembering things. It's more than that. Let me put it in easy terms for you. Thinking is like gardening. Yes, gardening. Your brain is the garden. Your ideas are the seeds. But to make those seeds grow, you need 3 things. Soil, this is your mind. Water, this is your focus. Sunshine, your clarity. Here is sunshine. Now picture you have this gorgeous seed, this great idea. But there's no room out in the garden. The ground already is full of old things, weeds, trash, other plants. It's not dark for lack of sunshine, but no sun shines there because there's too much noise. And you're trying to water 10 different things at the same time. What happens to the seed? It doesn't grow. And this is precisely what is happening in our heads. We try to keep our thinking clear. We try to learn English. We try to concentrate. But our brain is too full. The space is too crowded. That's why thinking is so painful. Now for some science, but easy English. You have something in your brain called attention span. That is, how long you can concentrate on something before you get distracted. It's short for most people, those 8 to 15 seconds, because we're always circulating between apps, messages, thoughts. There is also a little concept called cognitive load. That's how much detail your brain is stored at once. It's sort of like a backpack. You can only take so much before you have to drop some weight. And then there is neural overload. It's like your brain is trying to deal with too many signals at once. What you're seeing, what you're hearing, what you're feeling, the things that you remember. It gets tired. That's why you feel mentally drained after too much screen time or multitasking. But here's the good news. You're not bad at thinking. You're not bad at English. You're just overloaded. Many of us are now having a light bulb moment. It changes everything, because once you know this, you can do something with it. And it doesn't have to be difficult. I've got something for you, a simple tool you can put into practice today. It's called a micro pause. What is a micro pause? It's a little total pause, with seconds, where you stop doing everything. You stop talking, stop scrolling, you breathe, you look outside, you close your eyes, even just 10 seconds. That's it. This little pause offers your brain a reboot, turning off a machine and turning it back on. Suddenly, you're able to think once more. Try this right now. Just stop after this sentence. Sit still. No phone, no talking. Just 10 seconds. Go ahead. I'll wait. How did that feel? Strange? Calm? A little quiet? That is your mind starting to clear out a little of that space. And guess what occurs when you inject a few micro pauses into your day? Your mind gets clearer. You become more focused. You feel less tired. It's particularly powerful if you're learning English. But you remember more when your brain is quiet. You understand more. You don't feel frozen up when you open your mouth. Thinking is not about doing more. It's about finding space so your mind can breathe. I'm going to show you how to make even more room by changing how you use your phone, how you spend your time alone, and yes, how you write. But keep this in mind. The science is straightforward. Spaces in your brain allow new thoughts and ideas to grow, like a garden needs soil. And when you know that, you can begin to think, not harder, but better. Chapter 3: Digital Detox: Reclaiming the Space in Your Head. Here's an example of something that touches us all: our phones, our screens, the internet, social media. Now I want to be clear. This is not a speech about abandoning the internet. It's not about getting rid of your phone. We need technology. It helps us learn, connect, work, even watch this video. But here's the reality. If we don't control it, it controls us. Think about your average day. You wake up. What's the first thing you do? Maybe you check your phone. And then the messages arrive. Emails, news, maybe a few ads. Then you scroll a little. Maybe watch a video. Then something else. Then more. Before you know it, your brain is saturated, and the day has just started. We hardly notice it now, but that kind of constant digital noise, every beep, every ding, every red dot, nibbles at your attention. It colonizes your mental space without asking first. It's the reason why we feel fatigued despite not having done a lot. Our mind was never stopping, just responding to everything. Here's a good one: mental real estate. Imagine your mind is a house, a home in which to house your best thoughts, ideas, and dreams. But what if there's a perverse catch? If 100 strangers come into your house every hour, talking loudly, showing you things you didn't ask for, can you relax? Can you think clearly? Of course not. Your phone is inviting those strangers in, with every ping, every app, and every scroll. And that is where digital detox comes in. Now, the bad editor inside my head would scream, "Delete everything." This isn't about extremes. This is about tiny differences that spare your mind just a little. Here are 3 things you can put into practice right now. First, silences notifications for non-essential apps. You don't need to be notified whenever someone likes a post or a new video goes up. Select what's truly important, perhaps messages from close friends or calendar reminders, and switch everything else off. Second, set no phone times. How about this? No phone during the first 30 minutes after you wake up. No phone during meals. No phone 1 hour before bed. You can start small. Even 10 minutes helps. These brief moments allow your brain to breathe and reset. 3. Turn your phone to grayscale. It sounds strange, but it can make a big difference. When your screen is in black and white, your brain doesn't feel like it's addicted to it. A pop of bright color is designed to demand your attention. Grayscale quiets your mind. So, let's try a quick exercise. Imagine 2 days. Day 1. You receive 150 notifications. Your phone lights up every few minutes. You check it constantly. Even when you're learning English, you get messages all the time. Your mind feels jumpy. You can't focus. You feel tired. You forget what you read. Day 2, you receive 5 notifications. You pick up your phone a few times, so you practice your English with no interruptions. You read slowly. You listen deeply. You're more confident in your speech. Your brain feels calm, and you deepen your learning. What day do you want to die? That's the apex. The moment you realize you have a choice. You're not stuck. You can take your mind back. Now let's take that home to our English learning. Pronunciation in particular is difficult for many learners, or remembering words, or feeling like I can comfortably speak up. But in so many cases, the problem isn't the language, it's the mental noise. Disrupting your attention again and again is how the software gets you back for more. But as you make the noise less and less, your memory becomes better and better. You remember more words. You speak more clearly. You feel less afraid. You start to have fun in that language. One of my students said this to me. Wait, so once I turned off all of the alerts on my phone, suddenly I felt like I had time again. My English became better. It wasn't because I studied more, it was that I could finally focus. That's what I want for you. So give just one of these shifts a try today. Maybe turn off notifications. Maybe have a no-phone dinner. Perhaps a brief foray into grayscale. It is these small steps that create huge space. And that space, it's the organ where your thoughts expand. It's where your English gets better. Chapter 4. The Power of Solitude. Discovering quietness in a noisy world. Do you know what it feels like to be alone in a room alone with nothing, not even a TV, and feel the uncomfortable silence? Perhaps you grabbed your phone reflexively, or had put something on just to quiet the silence. That's okay. We all do it. In today's world, silence is awkward, yet serenity is just what our minds lack. Let's talk about something very rare: solitude. Solitude is having but wanting nothing to do with it. Not loneliness, just solitude, and feeling fine. We live in a world of voices, social media, messages, calls, music, advertisements, opinions, thoughts from others, all the time. But here it is. When do you hear your own voice, your own ideas, your own thoughts, your own feelings? Here's what most people don't know. Great thinking does not occur in noise. It happens in stillness. and stillness takes practice. It's like a muscle. The more time you do with just you alone, with no distraction, the stronger that thinking is. Allow me to provide a humble example. Go for a walk outside for 5 minutes. No phone, no music, just walk. Feel your feet on the ground. Look at the sky. Listen to the wind. Don't do anything. Just be. It might even feel boring at first. But if you do it again tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day, something incredible starts to happen. Your brain starts to quiet down. Thoughts rise to the surface, not rushed, not forced, just natural. You start to feel good again. Here's the bottom line. Your brain requires quiet as much as your body needs sleep. Without silence, your thoughts do not have room to mature. Without silence, you can't really listen. To others, yes, but also to yourself. Most of us are afraid to be alone because we think we'll be lonely. But they are not the same. Loneliness is being empty. Solitude is being full. Being alone allows your mind its own private space to clean itself, to sort your emotions, to understand your life. It's the equivalent, she says, of organizing the messy desk, not by throwing everything away, but by putting everything in its place. And so, how does this relate to your English learning? Have you ever been walking, just walking by yourself, or taking a shower, or if you just sat down and out of nowhere, an English phrase pops into your head? Possibly a sentence that you recalled, maybe a new word, perhaps a suggestion for how to say something better. That's not an accident. That's what solitude does. It allows your brain to have ideas bump into one another. You're not forcing anything. You're just letting the language rise naturally. In fact, some of the best speaking ideas don't occur when you're trying hard. They arrive when your mind is quiet. That's why I always say to my students, you can't only practice English with your mouth. Practice it with your mind. Try this. Each morning before you get up, sit in stillness for 1 minute. Just 1 minute. No speaking, no scrolling, just breathe. Then write a sentence in English. It can be about anything. Today I feel the sky looks. I want to. 1 moment of silence reflected, plus a single sentence, is a small habit that can revolutionize your thinking and talking. You don't need a big space. You don't need a long time. All you have to do is find a place for yourself. You don't find solitude, it finds you. It's something you create, even in a busy home, even on a busy street. You can find a little space, and in that space, you find yourself. So the next time you start to throb for that phone, pause, just for a few seconds. Offer your mind that silent pause. Let it breathe. Let it listen. Let it think. For in the silence, your real thoughts start talking. Chapter 5. Drawing with a pen and paper, writing as mental space. There's something magical about putting pen to paper and letting your thoughts fall upon the page. It's not just writing, it's thinking, on paper. And here's what's crucial. You don't have to be a good writer to use writing as a tool. You don't have to use perfect grammar or big words. You just need to be real. Because writing isn't just about language. It's about clarity. It's about slowing your thoughts down and giving them a place to live. Frequently, our minds are busy, noisy, and cluttered. Thoughts keep pouring in one after the other, and we don't know what to do with them. But when you put them on paper, even very simple ones, they cease to run around in your mind. Let me try to make it easy for you. Here's a little idea with the potential for big impact. The morning dump. Silly as it sounds, I'm afraid this is one of the very best habits you could possibly have, no matter who you are or how your life looks. Before you do anything, really anything else, even check your phone, just spend 5 minutes writing down what's going on in that head of yours. Never mind that it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't need to be pretty. It just needs to be real. Write what you feel. Write what you're thinking. Write what you need to do. Use note form and write what you are worried about. It can be messy. It can be short. It can be in English or your first language, or both. Here's an example. Today I feel tired. I didn't sleep well. I'm thinking about work. I wish to practice English, but I am not ready yet. Why do I always feel behind? I hope I can focus today. The sky is gray. That's it. That's enough. What just happened there? Your brain emptied all those leaden thoughts onto the page. That's like wiping down your desk before you start work. Now there's room to think. And for English learners, that's powerful. Why? Because writing is how you find your voice in English. It's your voice, even if it's unsophisticated. The most common thing I hear from learners is, I can't write because my English is bad. But that's backwards. You write to become good. Here's a simple rule. Don't write perfect. Write real. If you concentrate on being right, your brain will lock. If you will be real, your mind will open. Here are some sentence starters to use. Right now, I feel. Today, I want to. What I'm thinking about is, I don't know why, but in my mind, you need only write one sentence each day, or one paragraph. You don't have to share it with anyone. This is your space, a private, secure space for your thoughts. Writing is a silent conversation with yourself. It makes you understand what you really believe. When you understand what you think, you can speak more clearly. I hear this from so many of my students. When I started writing in English every day, I became more confident when I spoke. That's not a surprise. Speaking and writing come from the same place, your brain. And the better you know your thoughts, the more effortless it is to tell them to someone. Let's look at this another way. If your mind is a full backpack, writing is how you unpack it. One thought at a time, slowly. And all of a sudden, it's mercifully lighter. It's the perfect 3-sentence day with this challenge. Tomorrow morning, write 3 sentences. Don't worry about grammar. Don't fix mistakes. Just write what's real. And then notice how you feel. More calm, more focused, more open. That's the power of writing. You don't need more apps. You don't need more rules. All you need is a pen, a piece of paper, and 5 minutes. This one small habit can change it all. Your mindset, your confidence, and your English. So write what's in your head and allow your mind the space it requires. Part 3. Developing the thinking habit. Mental space. in real life. Chapter 6: How to Make a Thinking Habit. You are one step away from finishing the last chapter, and now it's time to pull it all together. We've discussed the way your mind gets crowded, how film noise clogs your brain, the strength in silence, the ways that walking, writing, and spending time alone help you think. But now we have the $100,000 question. How do you make this a habit? Because the fact is, clear thinking is not magic. It's a habit, a daily choice, a small practice. Not something you force, something you grow. Let's build a simple routine, one you can start tomorrow. It's only a few minutes a day, but the results can be life-changing, not only in terms of your peace of mind, but also for your English. Here are some other recommendations for a daily routine. Easy, light, gentle. Morning, 5 to 10 minutes. No phone when you wake up. Sit quietly for 1 minute. Breathe. Just breathe. Take a morning dump in your notebook. Write 3 to 5 sentences. Be real. Be messy. Be honest. Read what you wrote aloud, quietly. This builds your English and your confidence. During the day, take 1 or 2 micro pauses. No phone, no talking. Just look outside, or walk, or sit. Let your mind breathe. Turn your phone on silent for 1 to 2 hours if you're working, studying, or taking a rest. Pay attention to how your energy shifts. Evening. Write again for 2 minutes before bed. Just answer this question. What did I learn or observe today? And should the answer be simple, write it. This isn't a strict rule. It's a soft rhythm. It's how you intentionally create mental space. And you might be wondering, can these small things really make a difference? Yes, they can. And here's why. In building these small habits, you're actually training your brain to slow down, to stop rushing, to not have my mind jump around. What you're doing is making space for clearer thinking. And when you think better, you speak better. Many English learners get stuck, not because they do not have enough words, but because their brain is too busy, too stressed, too full. Mental space is what allows you to feel less afraid. You're in no hurry to say anything. You're not fretting over every mistake. You're more relaxed. And when you're relaxed, words come more easily. Mental space also allows you to be more creative. You begin to play with the language. You try new words. You build your own sentences. You speak more like you. And here's the beauty of it. When you nourish your mind, your English develops naturally. You stop struggling against the language. You start flowing with it. You don't need to be perfect. You don't have to do it all today. You only need to put your foot in the door. Go for a walk without using your phone. Write one honest sentence. Sit in silence for a minute. That's all. And then, do it all over again the next day. Gradually and steadily, your mind is a less crowded place, a stronger space, a place where you can actually hear yourself think. This is not about getting away from life. It's about turning up with an empty mind, with full attention, with real presence. And when you live with that kind of space within you, everything changes. Your energy, your ideas, your learning, your confidence. So here's your gentle reminder. You don't need to do more. You have nothing more to do. than to make space. And in that space, you will have your best thinking. You'll find your calm. You'll discover your English voice. If this video allowed you just one deep breath today, think of what a week of mental space could do. I'd be curious to hear what you think, so leave a comment below. What was the most interesting part of this video? What's your first small change going to be? And if you're looking for more easy English to help improve not only your language, but also your brain, then make sure you give this video thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell. It means a lot, and it's what keeps this quiet, contemplative corner of the internet growing, one quiet mind at a time. Take care, and lest I'll give your mind all the space it needs next time, you're actually doing better than you think.